Good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. I am back with my third video. Consistency. Trying to stay on top of it. I was trying to think about what I wanted to talk about today. And I had another topic, but we'll talk about that another time. But um I guess I'm going to speak on the subject that um is not saying it's like real serious, but I guess it can be. I guess it depends on how you look at it. Um, I'm going to speak on my experience on being a bonus parent. I don't like the words stepmom and stepfather because I feel like we all have our biological mothers and our biological fathers. And if they decide to separate, um, and your mom decides to be with someone else or your father decides to be with someone else and they're serious about that person, and they might get married or they may just be in a long relationship for a long time, it's like the kids gain another mom or another father. So I feel like that's a bonus parent. So my my experience with being a bonus parent is, it's not bad, but I would say it's kind of challenging at times. So just to give you a little bit of a background, um, my oldest daughter is from a previous relationship. My um, daughter was young when me and my current husband started dating 10 years ago. So she was 10. No, she'll be 21 this year. Jesus Christ, I'm all the way off. Um, she was 11 when she met Marion, and she like really kind of took to him. It didn't take her long to warm up to him. Shayla's always like a real bubbly type kid, so it wasn't like serious for her, that I was dating somebody else that wasn't her father. Um, Her and Marion got along, pretty well. And then the teenage years came, and of course, teenage girls are funky and they act stink and they do what they do. Um, we did have, a little challenge for a little while, with Shayla and, between Shayla and Marion. Um, Shayla and her dad, they have they have a relationship with each other, but it's not like the relationship like most daddies are like really, really super protective of their girls. She doesn't have that type of relationship with her dad. And Marion, on the other hand, Marion is very protective of his children. He's very protective of people that he loves, period. And him and Shayla, when she was growing up, Shayla wanted to do what Shayla wanted to do. Like I said, she was a teenager. She was doing what teenagers do. And I think at the time, because I went through a lot in my previous relationship, I really, kind of, I would say I sheltered Shayla a lot because I wanted her to feel like she always had me. If she didn't have anybody else, she had her mom. And because I had some, childhood trauma and some childhood issues when I grew up, I kind of let Shayla get away with certain things. Not on the lines of being disrespectful, but it's like I coddled her a little too much than I should have. I'll say that for the most part. And at some point, me not verbalizing to Marion about everything that I spoke to Shayla about, because sometimes Shayla would be a little funky and she wouldn't speak when he came home, or she would just give him attitude. I would tell Shayla about it, and he felt like I didn't, I didn't have his back. And that was my mistake on my part. I take accountability for not making him feel like I did that. And sometimes, it was kind of hard, with the two of them, trying to get along, and then we would fuss about it a little bit. But overall, through the years after, everybody getting to learn each other and learn everybody's attitudes and what was going on with her, it's like it was a learning process, it was a healing process, it was just a process altogether. And on the other hand, Marion has an older daughter, and we have a set of twins together. So we have the older child, Shayla. We have the second oldest child, Tanaya, and we have the babies, Marion and Cameron. Those are the twins that we have together. So I've been in Tanaya's life for 10 years. Tanaya will be 18 this year. So she was 7, 8-ish when me and him got together. And I'm the type of person that I don't treat kids a certain type of way. I treat children like children. If they're my kids or somebody else's kids, I treat children the same way. I hug them, I kiss them. If I got spare money in my pocket, I buy them snacks. If I take my kids shopping, I'll buy them something too. That's how I was. When Tanaya was younger, she was, bubbly around me sometimes. And then I think the older she got, and her mom kind of not being, her mom wasn't happy with the fact that her father had somebody else in his life. So she kind of, I think one incident she told Tanaya that she didn't want her to call me mom. Now, me as a mom, I felt that I wouldn't want to try to take somebody else's place, as a parent, and confuse the child to make them think, oh, I'm here, I'm trying to replace your biological mom. That's not my program. I would never do that. But I wanted her to understand that because me and her dad was together, I'm going to love and treat you the same way I love and treat my other children. And I know sometimes when you're in a relationship with somebody and they have a kid from another man or another woman or whatever, they're like, oh, I don't want my child to call that person daddy. I don't want my child to call that person mom. I understand it to an extent, because I feel like if the child feels that type of love from whomever that parent is with, if they treat them like a mom, if they treat them like a dad, I wouldn't want the child to feel as if they're doing something wrong because they might say, hey mom, or hey dad. I don't want them to feel uncomfortable saying that, but I will also let them know at the same time, look, I do want you to understand, I'm the bonus parent. I still love you the same way, but I don't want you to ever feel like I'm trying to take your mom's spot. You know what I'm saying? So it's like over time, I think the older she got, I feel like she kind of started to resent me a little bit because I wasn't her biological mom. And she wanted her dad's attention because she wasn't around her father a lot. And My issue with kind of co-parenting, even with my own experience with having to do that after me and Shayla's father weren't together anymore. I never told my daughter that she couldn't go spend weekends with her father. She couldn't call him. She couldn't, she couldn't be around her dad. I would never tell her to do that. When I was growing up, my mother never talked bad about my dad. She told me, when you get older, when you find your dad, when you meet him, I want you to get to know him for yourself. I want you to form your own opinion. She never spoke harsh about my dad. But it seems like nowadays that's just like the norm. When two people are together, they have a child, and it's like one or either both parents will bash the other parent. You know, your dad is a dog, your dad is no good, or your mom was a thought, your mom's no good. I don't like that. And I kind of feel like her mom telling her, I don't want you to call her mom. And just because her mother didn't like me in general. It was just the simple fact her mom just didn't want to see Mary happy. And because she didn't want to see Mary happy, she made it uncomfortable. I feel like she made it uncomfortable for Tanaya to get close to me in a way. And then maybe it was that Tanaya felt like I was taking her dad away from her. And that's not my intention, to never try to take a child's father away from them. If anything, I want you to be around your dad. I will always ask, when Marion, if we were together, I'm like, did you talk to Tanaya? Did you call her? Were you able to speak to her? Did her mom let you talk to her? And then sometimes it was just like she just would not let him see her. And I know that was hard on him, and it was hard for me to watch it, because I'm like, I can't really believe that people play their children as pawns in relationships. I don't think that's cool at all. And that happened a lot. And over time, like I said, Marion and Shayla, they developed their relationship. Now, if anybody, how I am very protective of my children. And I'm not going to let them just go with anybody. So, sometimes when I was at work, Marion would call. He was like, I'm out. I'm going to try to go grab Tanaya. Is it okay if I go, get Shayla? All three of us could go hang out. And I love my grandma to death. My grandma is not going to let anything happen to any of her children. So, he went. He went to my grandmother's house to pick Shayla up, and my grandmother called me while I was at work. She was like, "Hey, your friend is here, and he said he wants to take Shayla. Did you tell him it was okay?" And I said, "Yeah, Grandma, it's all right. He can, he can take Shayla. Him and his daughter, and Shayla. They gonna go hang out for a little bit until I get off work. But, I thank God that my grandma is very protective like that, and she." She checked with me first to make sure, because my grandmother know, I'm protective of my kids. I don't want nothing to happen to them. So, Shayla and I, they grew up together. When they were younger, he would take them out, and I was like, man, I said, that's cool. He felt comfortable enough to go grab my child and take her, with him and his daughter, so they could go hang out while I was at work. And I know Shayla, my daughter's she's clingy. She loves you. She loves you. And she was very, she was, kind of clingy to Marion. And sometimes I think it was kind of like a jealousy thing a little bit, maybe. I hope Tanaya didn't feel like Shayla was trying to take her spot or take her dad away from her, because that's not what it is. But I will say, I think Shayla enjoyed the fact that she has somebody, a male figure, who was willing to take time with her, Marion bought her flowers, teddy bears, balloons on her birthdays, Valentine's Day. He always told her she was beautiful. He still tells her the same thing. He tells all his girls that they're beautiful. And my son, he always tells my son the same thing. You're a handsome young guy. That's just how he is. And Shayla, she doesn't get that from her dad, like she does from my husband. And I guess me watching her with Marion, and sometimes I would kind of time to tell Shayla, just let Tanaya and her dad, kind of, go and do their own thing, because I know sometimes she just probably just wanted to, spend time with her father, alone. I did understand that. And, Shayla would be like, oh, okay, Mom, I get that, that is her dad, I understand. And it was heartbreaking, because I could see like the disappointment, because she was like, man, I wanted to go hang out with them, today. So it's like, man, I didn't want to do that, but I understand on the other hand, she wanted to be with her dad. She wanted to spend some time, with him alone. So, as time went on, I would try to, do little things. I'm not a girly girl. I'm sorry. I don't. My fingernails are painted. Well, they were painted. They look terrible now. But my baby girl, she is a little person, and she likes makeup, and she likes to get her fingernails painted. And I'm not a fingernail makeup type person. That's her aunties, Melissa and Tisha, and her other best friend, Miss Chandler. I don't know how to do makeup, and I don't really know how to do the nail thing, so that's their department. But she asked me, she's like, Mommy, I want to do my nails. So I halfway, they look better than this when I did it. But anyway, I would try to do little girly things with Tanaya and Shayla, I guess, girly, or just be mommy, just do the mommy thing. And it was like, sometimes it was like, she was like, nah, I just want to hang with my dad. I just want to hang with my dad. And I was like, okay. Or, I would try to hug her, and it would just be like kind of like a dry hug. And it was like, I don't know how to reach her, because I understand I'm not her biological mom. And I don't want y'all to get the wrong idea. She don't hate me, She just, I'm more of her dad's wife. She understands my position, and she's fine with it being like that. I'm not saying, it's no hate there. It's just, I guess, the way, she pretty much is like, this is my dad. I don't want to be around my father. I understand you're the wife. I'm the daughter. He needs to pay me the attention. And it's kind of, it's kind of heartbreaking sometimes, because we have a blended family, and I don't like to feel like the distance between me and her, because I try to give her the same, the same love or the same discipline or whatever as I give my children, because that is my husband, that is his child, so that is my child as well. And it's not easy to do that sometimes. And I mentioned it to my husband, and I told him, I'm like, I don't know what to do. It's like, I kind of feel like how he said he felt I didn't have his back when, Shayla was cutting up and doing what she was doing. I guess I'm kind of getting my own karma back. I would say that. Well, I won't say it was karma. Maybe it was. But just like I said, I was still like talking to Shayla. It's just, I guess everybody has their own way of handling certain things. If anybody who knows me, I don't like confrontation. I don't like to argue. I don't like confusion. I'll shut down. Like, for real. I've never been a confrontational person. And if I do get into any kind of confrontation, I just got to handle it accordingly. That's just how it is. Like, I don't don't bother anybody. I don't think I'm the baddest person in the world, but I'm not gonna just let you just handle me all type of ways. I'm not gonna let you talk to me all type of ways either. But I'm pretty much I'm laid back. I pretty much go with the flow of things. So it's like I feel how he was feeling now, and it's kind of funky because she's graduating soon, and her mom basically told me and her father that we can't even come to her graduation party. And that sucks because I feel like at this point, like, what did we do to you that was so bad that you feel like her dad can't be at her graduation party and you have that much hate for me? Which, and I've never done that to this lady. I literally never did anything to her. She 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 just hateful. I hate to say it. She's hurt. Um, and if she ever wanted to sit down and talk, I'm willing to talk to her because, like I said, I don't like confusion. I don't like discord. I don't like that. I can sit down and I can talk out my problems with anybody. I can get along with anybody, and I've proven that a lot of different times. Even like jobs that I worked at, there were people beefing on my jobs, and I was cool with either one of them. And I'm like, look, y'all beef don't have nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm basically Switzerland in this situation. I like you as a person. I like you as a person. Whatever y'all beef is, that's between y'all. I'm going to stay out of it. That's my personality. But in the long run, we all ended up being the best of friends. Why? Because, excuse me, I apologize. I can sit down and I can talk my issues out with you. What is your issue with me? What's the problem? What did I do to you personally? If you can tell me something, give me some concrete information as to what it was I did to you for you to hate me that much, then I'll apologize for what I did. I've done nothing to this woman. So it's like I have a daughter, but I really don't have another daughter. And I don't like to feel like that way. Trust me, I love her to death. I love her like she's my own child. But I think it's more so because she didn't get a chance to have her dad around the way that she really wants to. And I get that. I get that she wants her dad's attention. But at the same time, it's like I've been in your life. I've been in your life more than half of your life. I have. I've never mistreated her. Never mistreated her. Always treated her like she was mine. And it's just, I'm not gonna say we don't click with each other, but I don't have the relationship with her like I have with my biological children. And it's like sometimes I'm like, I know me, and it's like I'll just kind of throw my hands up and be like, you know what, I give up. Maybe this just not my fight this time. And then it's like, no, you can't be like that. She's still a child. You just gotta take it at the chin. But I'm human, and sometimes it hurts to take it at the chin, especially when you a parent to your regular kids and you have a bonus child that you have to be a parent to as well. And it's like, it almost feels like she kind of sees you as, oh, you just this person that's just with my dad and you have to do this stuff for me. That's just how I feel. I'm not saying she thinks like that. I'm just saying that's how I feel. But, at the end of the day, we all love each other. We all get along. I just wish the relationship was a little better. And, I guess the older she gets, the more she might understand, some of the times when she wanted to talk about certain things, she could have came to me and we could have sat down and we could have talked about it. Because I'm not a judgy person. I don't judge anybody. I'm the last person to judge anybody about anything that they've done. Not saying I killed anybody or I did anything like terribly bad, but I'm just not. I'm not. I'm not in a position to judge. I don't. I just don't do it. I don't care. Like, but you can just do some craziness. I might look at you crazy, but I ain't gonna judge you about it. I'll just be like, yo, why you did that? And everybody got their reasons for doing what they do. But just in a nutshell, I mean, if whoever's watching this video and you are a bonus parent, I mean, how does your dynamic in your family work? You know, how did you cope with having to parent a child that's not biologically yours? Like, are you guys close? Is there a distance? Like how I'm talking about my situation. Do you guys hate each other? Do you love each other? Like, how does that work? Because I really would like to know, like, how do you get past like put that gap together? Like, yo, I'm here. Like, I'm here for you. Like, I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm not trying to hurt your parent. I'm just stuck. You know, been stuck for a while, and I talked in my video Mother's Day. Me and my oldest child, she had some issues, that she had going on with her. And it was a strain for a little bit, but now that, she's gotten older, she understands, mom messed up. That was on me. And not saying that I wasn't close to my daughter before, but it's not now that she's older. It's like, and I'm getting older. It's like, I can honestly say, like, I guess we're like best friends because I was young when I had her. And I can honestly say me and her grew up together. Like, I had to learn that when I had her, it wasn't about me anymore. It was about her. I had to put what I wanted to do and what I wanted. I had to put it aside, and I had to put all that time and energy into her. And she's understanding that now that she has my grandson. Everything's not about you anymore. It's about your son. So it's like now that she's older and I have the twins, it's like kind of like she kind of steps up more, and it's like she's big sister to everybody. So it's crazy that I'm talking about I got an older child. But anyway, yeah, it's like I grew up with my oldest child. We grew up together. Like she made me grow up, literally. And I don't know. I guess one day, things will change, things will get better, I guess she'll open up and she'll understand a little more. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm a boring person. I'm not a boring person. If you know me, I'm not a boring person. I'm a lot of fun. But sometimes I get quiet and I just chill. My husband is very goofy. He don't look like it. He look like he ready to kill everybody most of the time, but he's a very goofy person, and my kids are goofy. And if you know Shayla's goofy too. Like, everybody in the house is like goofy, but it's like I got the dry sense of humor, and everybody else is goofy. I have my goofy moments. I say that I could be goofy when I want to, but they just like, they wake up in the morning acting crazy, and you gotta give me a minute to get to that point. Because when I wake up in the morning, I be like, shh, man. Because some of the time I go to sleep, it's late. And I be up late. So they might have been sleeping 4, 5, 6, 7 hours. And then I'll take a nap and wake up and I'm still sleepy. And my son, he get up and he be at it. He be ready. He be on it early in the morning. So I guess that's like another thing she mentioned. I guess because somebody that my husband was dating before, I guess she was like real bubbly and fun. And I'm like, well, I could be bubbly and I could be fun. I mean, just because I guess I don't act like how y'all act, then you think that I'm not fun. I'm a lot of fun. I think I'm fun. I'm a lot of fun. I am. I just have my moments when I'm funny. I have my moments when I just shut down. I'm just quiet. It's not that I'm it's not that I'm being standoffish. I think that's just something that there's something that I just developed. Like I said, I had my own, my own little issues, but that's a story for another day. But like, yeah, it's just I'm not gonna say it's a struggle being a bonus parent. It's just a test. I'll say that. I feel like it's a test. It's either you're gonna pass it or you're gonna fail. I mean, whenever she need me, she call me, she tell me she need me, I'm gonna be there. I have been there. I show her that plenty of times. You know what I'm saying? And just being able to watch her grow up from being a little kid to like now she's about to be 18. She's graduating from high school, and watching her do her hair every 5 minutes of the day because she wants to be a cosmetologist. She likes hair. And it's rewarding and irritating at the same time because it's like I said, I'm not a girly girl. All that flicking the hair and doing this and doing all of that, I can't stand that. That's why see what I got in my hair. I got braids in my hair, and I have long hair, and I just don't feel like being bothered with it. But she likes to wear that long weave all the way past her butt, and she want to curl it every 5 minutes, and I'm like, girl, you just curled your hair. And she'll stay in her room all day and she'll curl her hair and she'll curl her hair. But you can't tell baby she ain't sexy when she get done. But, like I said, she wants to be a cosmetologist and she wants to own her own business. And, I'm here for it. I'm ready to see her become the business owner, the entrepreneur, the hair guru, the A1 stylist she wants to be. I'm here for it. I'm here to see all my kids grow up and be what they're gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Me and my husband, we try to set a good example for our kids. And children are sickness sometimes, but I still love them. They are. But like I said, that's just, me sharing my experience as a bonus mom. So hopefully, me sharing my experience and my story, somebody else could be going through the same thing. They could, be trying to figure out a way to reach, the child that they love who isn't biologically theirs, but they love them with their heart. And sometimes it's just hard, to reach them on a certain level. I say I'm open to hear it. I'm open to suggestions. Just open to hear what you got to say, hear your experiences, and hear your story. So I just want to say this. I am proud of myself. This is my third video. I'm gonna try to stay on it, y'all. But before I close my video, I will say this. Kids are a blessing. They are. And I'm saying this because my children are, I feel like they are my motivation. They push me to want to be a good mom. They push me to want to be a good example for them. They make me happy. They are, I feel like, one of my greatest accomplishments. My children, that's what my children are. Some people aren't able to have their own biological children, so they may have to adopt. They may have to, do the surrogate thing, artificial insemination, or some people just aren't blessed and they just can't have kids. So if you're a foster parent or whatever you had to do to make your family whole and you have your kids, you know exactly what I'm saying when I'm explaining to you that kids are your blessing. And I'm not saying they're not sick now. And I'm not going to say they're not going to test you. And I'm never going to say they're not going to get on your nerves. Because I love all of my kids. And they test my gangster on a regular basis. And I'm sure somebody understands my pain. But, like I said, my kids, they are my blessing. And if you have children, whether you birth them or not, be the best example that you can be as a parent to them, because when you think kids aren't watching and you think they're not listening, at the very least, when you think they're not listening, they'll let you know, I heard exactly what you said, and they repeat it at the worst time. They'll show out on you at the worst time. So I say that to say this: pray over your kids. Be the best example you can to them. If you don't have children, if you want to have kids, I pray that God blesses you with your heart's desire, that you are able to one day get the blessings that you ask for. I think that's it for today, guys. So if you can, share your experiences with me. If you guys have a topic you want to speak about, hey, leave me a comment. We can talk about it. You know, I'm pretty much open to talk about anything. Okay, I take that back. No, anything within reason, I'll fix that. I'll talk about anything in reason. If it's left field, I'm not even going to get into it. But, you know, that's all I got for today, guys. Thank y'all for watching my video. You have yourself a good night.